Okay guys, so we have the Witch's Broom Nebula through a 10-inch Newtonian. With a scope of this size, we're going to see some major detail and some major signal.
Last year, I spent 3 weeks collecting data on the Eastern Veil Nebula with my 10-inch Newtonian, and this nebula is so large that I had to just stitch 2 frames side by side just to get the whole thing into my field of view. But I was absolutely blown away by the amount of detail that I was able to capture. So this week, we're going to image the Witch's Broom Nebula. I'm Teagan with High Point Scientific. Stay tuned.
So the Veil Nebula is a supernova remnant. It's a star that has exploded and gone supernova. And it's composed of hydrogen, oxygen, and sulfur emissions. And those are actually the filters that we're going to be using to photograph this nebula. And it's nature's finest and most epic explosion. The 10-inch Skywatcher Quattro is my main imaging scope and has been my main imaging scope for the last 2 years. I'm pairing this with my 533 monochrome camera with 3.76 micron pixels. Gives me a perfect resolution of 0.78 arc seconds per pixel. Hopefully we can get some awesome data. I just kind of have to document this right now, but there's some clouds up here that look like the pillars of creation. See if I could show you. Now there are multiple ways that I could approach this shot. Last year when I was shooting the Western Veil Nebula, I only used 2 filters, my hydrogen alpha and my oxygen 3 filter, and that's really all you need for this nebula to create a pretty stunning photo. But I think I'm going to add in every filter that I own. I'm going to add my sulfur filter and my RGB filter, but it may not work at all. So I'm at least getting hydrogen and oxygen and RGB. The problem is, I definitely have 3 nights worth of imaging, maybe 4. I would like to dedicate each night to a separate filter. I think that should be enough for accurate color acquisition in my stars. Let's get to it. Now Vega is the brightest star in our sky this time of year, and is a perfect place to start with a Batinov mask. I've been doing it old school lately, but I want to make sure that I get focus and set up everything done before astronomical twilight so I don't waste any precious imaging time. Alright, we are coming up on the first 600-second test shot of the Veil Nebula. Now, it's not going to fill the frame just because my field of view is so narrow, but the details that it's going to capture should be absolutely extraordinary. I'm so excited to see what happened. Oh wow, look. Okay, so you can see the filamentary detail so clearly. That is wild that is just a single subframe. If we zoom in a tad, you can see just how detailed this photo already is. Absolutely spectacular.
Alright, so imaging over the last 4 nights, I was able to collect a total of 21 hours of data. Now that's not as much as I wanted personally, but the amount of data that we collected I think should be enough. I did collect S2 data, but I completely omitted that from my final image. I prefer the standard HOO palette with RGB stars. The Witch's Broom Nebula will come to feel my processing powers.